Everybody, what's going on? This is Eternal Midnight. I'm Chad, and I'm here with Santino. What's up, man?
Hey man, how's it going?
Good. Just Santino and I today. And we are talking the big news of the day. The Snyder cut of Justice League is being released.
Yeah, I just woke up and that was the first thing I saw on my Facebook. Like, oh my god, it's out.
Well, what a hell of a way to wake up, right?
What a hell of a way to wake up. It's insane.
I know.
Really?
And if you guys have been listening to our episodes the past couple weeks, you can tell for the most part we really like DC. So for someone like me, this is like the best news ever. Like I'm having a drink right now. I'm kind of like in celebration mode. But yeah, so obviously everyone out there on the internet right now, they're all talking about, this is going to be the best thing ever. We're so excited for this. But Santino and I kind of want to take a more level-headed approach. Yes, I'm very excited because, like I said, Justice League is, to me, the worst of all of the DC movies, the one I would prefer to watch the least. So it's going to be cool no matter what, seeing a different version of it. And here's the thing everyone keeps forgetting, it might be worse. That's the thing everyone keeps forgetting. It might not be better than what we got.
That's where I object. It might. You can't go lower than the original Justice League cut.
I don't know, man. It's like we said earlier. I mean, why wasn't this one released then?
Oh yeah, to be fair, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit while we're doing this. I'm gonna take a stance against it, but I'm all for it. At the end of the day, just know I'm all for it, but I'm still gonna try to look at this with a critical viewpoint of what this also could mean for DC as a whole. So, Santino, let's start with you. What was your immediate thoughts when you saw this? Were you excited? Were you just like meh? Were you like, who knows what could come out of this? What was your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were, to be honest, I was excited. Like the first thing I open my Facebook, I see the announcement that Snyder Cut's been released. Like, wow, I'm happy. I'm happy. Like, you guys know I was never diehard DC. I was more of Marvel, but I'm happy that for the DC fans who are diehard, they finally get this thing that they've wanted for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm glad like people like you, people like Dan, who have been following DC and get to finally see what the true the real Justice League, not the one we were given last 2017, and that's amazing because I also feel like it's good for Zack Snyder because
he deserves this.
He deserves this. Yes, Zack Snyder was pushed out of Warner Brothers, unfairly so. So it's not, he wasn't able to fully realize his vision, and I'm glad that finally we are getting after 3 years, we're getting his vision realized.
Exactly. So it's like for me, yes, I am excited to see this because one, I'm one of those people. I love pretty much everything Zack Snyder has done. So I have a feeling, even though this, again, let's just say this might be bad. I guarantee I'm still probably going to like it because I'm going to get the visuals and I'm going to get the characterization that Snyder built into these characters so far. And I mean, I'll be truly terrified if any of the jokey Batman stuff that we had from Bruce and Justice League is still there because like we said when we talked Justice League, that just was not the way Snyder set Batman up to be when he did BVS.
If it's still there, that means I will sort of lose faith in him already because so that means that was your decision, not Whedon's, not the studios.
Mm-hmm.
It was your decision, so okay, yeah. No, but supposedly this cuts 3 hours and a half. It's as long as The Godfather Part 2, so I'm like, oh wow.
Oh, there's been cuts of it. I mean, unless it's in an article that I haven't read, I don't know exactly what cut we're going to get. Yeah. So I mean, I guarantee it's going to be longer than what we got in theaters because I remember when that was first announced how long it was. I was like, that's it. I was like, that's it. I was like, that's it for Justice League. So I'm sure it's going to be longer. I just don't know if it'll be like the 3.5 hour cut that we've heard about.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's 3 hours and a half, all for it.
Oh, are you kidding me? If it's 3.5 hours, I'll go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Because I'm one of those people, like, when I'm a fan of something, I'm good with it going on forever. I could care less. Like, I don't want it to end sometimes.
yeah.
So
I mean,
if I hear it's 3.5, I'll shit myself.
I mean, like relating it to, I'm gonna relate this to something that I can know is like relating it to Harry Potter. I mean, like I love the movies. We've talked about the movies last April, and how the good and the bad of the 8 movies that were released. But my biggest gripe was always the fact that they left so much out that from the books, because I actually have basis on what was left out. So when I watch in the films, I know, right? Like, oh my god, they left us out. So like, I've been always one of those advocates of, I'm clamoring for an HP Netflix series because a lot of it was cut. So
I mean, that's not really relatable because this isn't based on a book.
I don't like it's. I find it relatable in the sense that the fact that so much was cut that you end up wanting more. That's how I feel, and I'm sure that's how DC fans feel with the Snyder cut, where so much was left out, and of course Zack Snyder released a lot of these like images of.
Well, a lot of it with the Snyder cut is the amount of stuff that was cut and changed when Whedon did the reshoots. So for me, it's seeing what was it Warner Brothers was hiding from us when the Whedon cut was released. What was it Warner Brothers didn't want us to see? So now with the change of management, they're obviously wanting to get this out. And yeah, I'm sure part of it is to push the HBO Max. But I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, they're just using this as, a platform to push HBO Max.
Well,
but it's not coming out till 2021. And HBO Max comes out, like in a week or something?
Yeah, and also
that's not how you push a platform, by releasing something like a year later.
It seems like, honestly, they're doing this because they want to. Because they want to.
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. But but for people who are, I'm glad they are. The Friends reunion, that's also happening on HBO Max, and that's 2021 also. So it seems like that's something they want to do, and not just something to, not a cash grab to make people join HBO Max.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's exciting. So, what are you nervous about with it? Like, do you think what do you think? Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's just going to be meh?
What I'm nervous about is that people will overhype this. That they will, they will overhype it. They will put it on a god status. That when it comes out, either they are disappointed because it doesn't meet their expectations, or they're in denial and they say that, oh my god, best movie ever, better than Logan, better than The Dark Knight. This is the Snyder cut. People just fanboy, and
it's always so sad when I see people do that, because it's like you're just lying to yourself to put up a face online. It's like, I mean, if you look at it and you genuinely think it's like a 10 out of 10, after you watch it, have at it. But it's like, I can tell sometimes by the way some people describe stuff where they're just like, oh, it's one of the best ever. Oh, you know what? Hey, I haven't seen it. What's so good about it? It's amazing. Thanks. You really sold me. A 10 out of 10. Your best description is it's amazing. Thank you.
I don't want them to get Endgame syndrome, because that's kind of what happened to me. Like when I watched Endgame the first time, it was like, oh my god, best movie ever, better than The Dark Knight, better than The Godfather. Like I really went to a camera and said, oh my god, Endgame was the best movie ever and all that. But after you watch it a couple times, like it gets lower. It's still, I still like it, but it's not not like this god status where it's better than everything else. You know what I mean? Same thing with this. Same thing with this. And I don't want it to be like, I don't want fans. I'm sure for the first time they're gonna watch it, they're gonna like love it so much, like, oh my god, it's amazing, and then they're gonna say like, they're gonna write reviews saying Snyder cut was like 10 out of 10, better than The Dark Knight and all that, better than Logan, better than Joker, and they're just gonna be like so full of it that they don't realize that, hey, maybe it's not as good. I want people to manage their expectations. I want people to manage their expectations. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, And don't go into it and I've already seen plenty of people, they were just like, everything Snyder makes is garbage anyway, so why would this be any different? And I just look at that and I just go, move on then. What do you care? If you hate everything the man does, why are you concerned? Why does it matter to you? You've already decided in your brain you're going to hate it. Why does it matter? Move on. Get a life. Go watch something else then.
You know me, should I live by a code? Like, I don't judge the movie based on rumors, reviews, and all that unless I see the movie first, right? So what everyone else says, they can praise it, they can be, they can bitch about it, saying it's not gonna be good because Snyder directed it. I don't know. Personally, I need to see the movie. I need to see it to judge and be like, okay, if it deserves a 9 out of 10, it will deserve a 9 out of 10. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I know for 100% certainty it's gonna be better than the original Justice League cut. I know that for sure. It's gonna be better than that.
There's no way we're gonna get a Henry Cavill Superman lip.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be better than that, and I just don't know if it's gonna be as good as everyone's saying. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be the best movie ever. I don't think so. Like, it's the same thing with when with that Friends remake that came out. That's not the remake, the reunion that was announced on IG. Like, everyone's saying, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the best TV series ever. Friends will be embedded in everyone's culture because the reunion is happening. Like, I don't think it's that.
I have never watched an episode of Friends, and I don't intend on it.
Yeah, exactly. So like everyone's going crazy, and like, hey, let's just calm down, because it's like, yes, I know it's happening.
It might suck.
Yeah, it might suck. Like, nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone until the movie's out. So who knows? Like, 2021 is still far away. So they might remove it, they might release it early. I don't know. But the problem is you have to manage your expectations. You always have to manage your expectations, because if you don't manage your expectations, you're gonna end up either disappointed or in denial about what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So let's see. So supposedly, from what I've heard, this movie is like, the Snyder Cut is about like night and day different in like the basic story of what Justice League was. Now, let's go ahead and say it's going to be better. Let's say people do love it. Do you think this, because we've never had a situation really where it's a cut comes out that is like this different, that it's going to affect obviously what comes next and the overall storytelling of this universe?
Right.
What do you think this is going to do to shape the timeline of the DC EU or Worlds of DC, whatever you want to call it? Because again, say it's completely different. The characters could be left in completely different places at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think is going to be the timeline? Do you think this might become the, what's canon, or do you think the theatrical cut will remain canon?
In my personal belief, to be honest, the theatrical cut will remain canon.
I don't know. It seems like there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes at Warner Brothers right now. So I mean, like, out of the blue, I got to give Snyder credit, because if I'd been treated almost the way he was, I don't know if I would have wanted to go back to Warner Brothers. So it's like something's going on there that really not a lot of us know, and I think something big is in the works right now.
Are you suggesting that Zack Snyder might actually return to direct future?
I really wouldn't doubt it at this point. I wouldn't. I mean, he's been doing his own thing for the past couple years, since his daughter passed away and and Justice League was taken from him. I know he did. He made kind of like a short personal movie, and I know he has like a zombie movie coming out, I think, right now. Let me double check what it is. But so it's like, I don't know. I mean, he's been doing something at Warner Brothers. He's been hanging around long enough to have gotten them to agree to this. You know what I mean?
I think what Warner Brothers person is doing right now is, if the Snyder Cut gets good reception and gets like amazing reception, then they're gonna let Zack Snyder direct in the future. direct more
Well, I mean,
movies.
he was. I mean, I'm looking at his. I'm looking at his stuff right now. He's a producer for Wonder Woman 84, so he's still collaborating with Warner Brothers.
I mean, like, I guess so. I mean, like, hey, if James Gunn can come back after those tweets, then yeah, I can
No,
see.
it feels like Warner Brothers is the studio that's like, hey, everybody's welcome here. Gunn got fired from Disney, and Warner Brothers was like, come on in, you can work for us now.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly,
And Snyder got treated unfair, and he's back. So I have a feeling a change of management is really what's pushing this.
I mean, like, I wouldn't rule it out. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't rule out Gunn returning. Who knows? Oh, sorry,
Well,
Gunn returning.
Gunn is sticking with DC.
No, I mean, like, I wouldn't rule out. Sorry, I wouldn't rule out Snyder returning because Snyder could return.
Give him Man of Steel 2. Come on.
Yes, I want to see that Man of Steel 2 and all that, but I want to see what happens. Like, I mean, like Legion of Doom. What happens with that? I mean, like, is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's like at this point, this is the momentum that's getting things going. I think the Snyder Cut is going to get that. Like, I'm not gonna. So obviously, I personally, and I'm pretty sure you have, we've liked everything that has come after Justice League: Aquaman, Shazam,
Yes.
Joker, The Prey, all 4 of them. So it's like I'm not gonna say that DC is better off without him because I still love Man of Steel, I still love BVS, but it's like DC has obviously kind of shifted now, and it's different than when Snyder left. But I think Snyder will be willing to. I have a feeling the man would be willing to be like, all right, what's the direction we're going in? I'm willing to work with you guys. Let me go, with Man of Steel 2, let's just say, let me get a little darker maybe than Shazam was. But at the same time, okay, Superman had his, his origin, his downfall and his death, and then his resurrection. Now we can get a more upbeat, happy Superman who is recognized as a hero after what happened at the end of BVS, because then like that, the whole world mourned that he was gone. So now he will be welcomed back as a hero into the world, and the movie doesn't have to be so dark and grim.
Right. But
So I unless we don't know, who knows what none of us know what really happens in the Snyder Cut, short of those who've seen it already. So if maybe the rumors are right that he's evil at the end of it, who knows? But that's where the problem comes in, because at that point it wouldn't fit into the timeline because Superman showed up at the end of Shazam and he was fine. So who knows? Who honestly knows? I just know, like, me personally, I'm excited to see it, but like we said, I'm not putting it on a pedestal. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not making predictions that it's going to be a 9 or a 10. I'm literally looking at it as I don't like the one that came out, and next year I'm going to get to see a different version of it from the man who originally started directing it. That's personally my entire view on it right now.
I'm just happy that this, after Snyder getting royally fucked by the Warner Brothers ever since 2016, and he's finally catching a break and his vision's finally out. I mean, like, yeah, I'm glad, dude. I'm happy.
It's like, and people forget, directors and stuff, they're artists. So it's like, for an artist to have their art ripped, and whether you view it as art or not is subjective. But it's like, the man is an artist. He started a project. It wasn't finished. It was taken from him and changed. And now he's getting his opportunity to finish his work. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for him, and I'm excited to see the movie.
Yeah, to wrap up, I'm happy that Snyder got what he wanted. I'm happy that DC fans who have been clamoring for this since 2017. 2017, it's been 3 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, finally get what they wanted. Also, they've been wanting this since 2017. Like, hell, mate, I've never been like, I personally can live my life with or without a Snyder Cut. I mean, like, I'm not one of those guys like I have to have the Snyder Cut. Like, I'm not that. But if this is a springboard for future DC projects, for Zack Snyder's Justice League to finish, for Deathstroke and the Legion of Doom to come in, for Green Lantern to come in, for even Ben Affleck to return and as Batman, because
Yeah, I mean that's one of those. Who knows? Because who
like
knows
that's
where the Batman series that's about to happen is even going to take place. So it's going to be interesting. So and I mean obviously none of this is going to really get going until after it comes out, fan reception, blah blah blah.
Exactly. I mean, don't make me wrong. I like Robert Pattinson in the one movie I've seen him in, Goblet of Fire. I've never seen Twilight or any of the other good stuff he's been in. But,
Cosmopolis.
yeah, again, I haven't seen that. So,
You need
to.
to.
Again, so.
Well, and don't forget, the world gets to see him in Tenet.
Yes, exactly. So, personally, I want Ben Affleck back. I know that's like the super big long shot because he's recovering and he should need to focus on himself and be a bit
We can't get Affleck back. I want Cavill back, and I want it like I know he was on the Man of Steel stream during all of this today, but I want so it's like that already gives me more hope than I had, but it's like I want it in stone. Henry Cavill to come out and announce we're planning Man of Steel 2 and I'll be back in the Cape. I want something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like personally, I want Cavill and Affleck back because, in my opinion, they really did the roles justice. I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Nice pun.
Nice pun, right? Yeah, they did their roles justice. I mean, like, if you're gonna ask me, like best Batman as a whole, like animated series included or in video games, I'd say Kevin Conroy would be my favorite Batman. But if you're asking live action, then yeah, Ben Affleck as Batman. I want him to return. I want him to, and who knows? You know, if anything, even if he doesn't return, the Snyder Cut will give us the final performance of Ben Affleck's Batman in its entirety properly. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, yep, like you said, wrapping up. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. We still got quite a while. It is what it is. So everyone out there, just from one big DC fan to others out there, like we said, don't put it on a pedestal, but also don't write it off. So keep an open mind. Be excited. I am, but don't walk around telling it's gonna be an auto 9 out of 10. Why? What? You don't know that.
And from one fan of superhero movies in general to all the others out there who like superhero movies, I'm happy. I'm happy that you guys have had this. I've never been supportive of it. Like I really don't care, honestly. But now that it's out, I'm happy that it's out, and I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch the Snyder Cut because I want to see what another director's version is like. And Zack Snyder, if you ever are listening to this dude, I'm happy that he finally got what you wanted. That the Snyder Cut is out for all the people to see, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction for the future. If you come back, or if Affleck comes back, or if Cavill comes back, I want to see it. You know. So yeah.
Agreed. Guys, thanks for listening in. What do you think? Are you excited for this? Could you care less? Does it not matter to you? Did you like the theatrical cut and you don't want a different one? Let us know down below. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard. We'll be back this weekend.